I use these settings to improve my freestyle and competitive playing over 100%. These settings will either take you to the next rank or improve your freestyle ability drastically. I've done freestyle for a couple years in tournaments against the likes of Jaxi, TX and many others. These settings are ones I've created through all of the years of trial and error, so make sure to stay to the end of the video to see all of my settings. Before I get into the settings, like and comment to push this video on the algorithm, and to hit my like target of 50 likes in this video. I'm going to show you the best psycho settings in Rocket League. These settings will make you hit psychos instantly. Starting off with the gameplay settings, all of these are default. I think one or two of them aren't default, but these don't matter that much, so just have whatever you've got at the moment. Now for the camera settings. Camera preset on custom, camera shake on nothing. People do look at camera preset and look for pro settings. So if you like pro settings, just look in camera preset, but you have to have backs mods to have a look at that. Fields if you have got it to 110. Some people have it at 100, but the reason I've got it at 110 is you can see the whole field really well. So when you're going up for a psycho, you can see the whole field when you're doing the psycho. Now I've got distance on 260. I feel like the further away my car is to the ball, the easier this mechanic is. If I had the camera distance like 220, it's really difficult to get the psycho, because it's just so close to your car that you can't really predict anything. So I've always got it at 260 instead. Then you can see a lot more, and that means that it's just a lot easier when you're doing the psycho. I'll try and get one now. The height I've got at 100. This is so you can be in line with the ball on the redirect. I find this really helpful, because whenever I do this I can just be in line with the ball and it helps me a lot. I'll show you now. Like, I'm right in the line of the ball of my car. If I've got the height any higher, whenever I go for the psycho, it's just not in line and it just feels extremely weird. So I always have it at 100, so the camera's right in line with my car, so I can predict really well where the ball's going. Same for angle, I've got this at -4. I've never tried it, but I think it might be quite good at like -7, so you can see more of the redirect. But I've always got to -4 because that's just what I'm used to. But you could experiment with like -7, -9, so you can see on top of your car when you're doing the psychos. That could actually work really well. But you can have two approaches to this. You can either approach it as you want your car in line with the ball, or you could approach it as you want your camera looking downwards onto your car and ball, so you can see how you're doing the redirect. I like it when it's in line with the ball, because I feel like that helps me with like other mechanics as well. So when I'm doing the ceiling musty into psycho, I can just do that. When if it was like -9, -7, I probably wouldn't be able to do that. Stiffness I've got 0.25. Stiffness is basically how far the camera pushes back when you're going supersonic, and it pushes it back in general as well. Some people have it at like 1, and when it's at 1 it just doesn't move at all, it's just completely rock solid in there. But I have it at 0.25. I think that's a good middle ground, and when you're doing psychos you want your car to be further back. So that helps your psychos a lot when your camera is just a bit further back. So you've got more time to just look what's happening and more time to predict the redirect. Say that whilst fluffing every single one here. So then swivel speed and transition speed. If you're doing freestyle, I feel like this is really important. This is basically how fast this travels towards the ball, like the camera travels towards the ball here. I feel like this makes my clips look a lot cleaner, because when you do a psycho you always go into car cam, and that makes clips look a lot cleaner after you go into car cam really quickly like that. So all of my settings I have on 1.4 for those two settings, but they don't really matter too much, just keep what you have at the moment, it's more personal preference. Inverted swivel I've got on, that's mainly just for flip resets and air dribbles, but it might help these, I don't know. I recommend you just try inverted swivel out and see if you like it or not. A lot of people just think it's like camera shake, you just leave it off. You're kind of right, but just try inverted swivel, try it with flip resets and air dribbles and see if you like it. So that's all of the camera settings. Now for the controls. All of these are default except from power slide, so I can do these wave dashes. And also I've changed the air roll to L1 and R1. I feel like this is really important, you kind of have to do this. Helps your stalls and helps every mechanic possible. Some people put boost on R1 or RB. I think that's just a bit pointless, just keep it on B, it really doesn't matter. Nothing changes if you change it to RB. A lot of people say it does, but it really doesn't. I've tried it before and it's just pointless in my opinion. So now for sensitivities and dead zones, I've got both of these at 2. Lower down the sensitivity is, the better it is for air dribbles. The higher up it is, the better for musty flicks and flip resets. So if you're doing ceiling musty psychos like this, you might want to up it a tiny bit. This is so you can get a better musty there. But I've always just been used to it at 2. So if you haven't really done these much before, you might want to put it up to like 230 or something. As 230 might be the best thing for you. But just experiment with this. I wouldn't put it any higher than 3, but experiment with it, put it around different settings and see what works out for you. Controller settings I've got 0.15 and dodge dead zone 0.3. These I've kind of just got a middle ground between comp and other people's settings. Like for comp you'll have it to like 0.05 or something. Some people have it at 0.3. So I've just got a middle ground of 0.15. Because I can still stall consistently with this. So I basically use the logic of put it as far down as possible until you can't stall consistently. That's basically what I do. Dodge dead zone 0.3. Some people have it right down there, some people have it like 0.7. I used to have a 0.7. So I think 0.3 is a good middle ground, makes your car feel light. It's just all around really good to have it 0.3 I feel like. So that's all of my dead zone settings. I'll move on to like my video settings and different ones like that now. So my interface, number plate scales, I've got 120%. This is so you can see more of the cars on the field. Team coloured boost meter, I've turned that on. People ask me all the time, how is your boost meter coloured? It's because of this setting here. Video, I have all of my video on high performance. Just like this. This is because my PC is just rubbish, and if I have it on high quality or something, my PC just completely lags out when I'm in a game. So I always have it on performance. But just do whatever your PC needs. If you have a decent PC, you might want it on like high quality or quality here. Makes it look a bit better. But it's really your opinion. It doesn't really matter too much. Just whatever you prefer playing on. Some people have transparent goalposts on. It's not even on the game anymore, so don't worry. But that's all of my settings. There's audio and chat, but these don't really matter. But there's all of my settings. Make sure you comment and like down below, and I'll see you next time.